Alrighty, apologies for the pause there. Had to take care of something. But anyway, we saw the death of Lloyd. A satisfactory one, I might say. He was an asshole. Blaming us for everything? I mean, come on, really? Such a bitch. Return to the house. I decided not to forget about the main thing. It seemed to me that if I stayed for only a couple of minutes, I would put everything I believed in danger. Do not say that my faith is strong, no. But there are rules that should not be broken. I need to get back to the guys. No, to the victims. To do this as quickly as possible, I decided to try to go down the chimney. Finding the cracked bricks, I hit the crack with my foot. First they didn't break, so I kicked the stone again. Finally I managed to get through the hole. I feel like we've seen this. He has her, the girl was holding the newspaper in hand, she looks wide-eyed. Okay. So, I was thinking that information that said a girl burns friend's house down to win beauty pageant, and Kate won that beauty pageant, I believe. So I wonder if that burnt person is her friend, and she's just like, oh my god, no. A rapist forces his friend to jump off a roof right after he screwed his girlfriend, so that's probably Lloyd. A serial killer lover is now in your house. So that is Martin. Try not to look like his sister. She received all the love of her parents, and he hated her, and he hates you the same way, Grace Hutling. A letter from our readers. Hello, dear Ella. If you're reading this, then I'm already around. Mr. Bubbles. Don't know what's up with that. Alright. Same as if she did not know, perhaps it would be better. I should have probably skipped this, but I didn't know if it was going to be anything different or not. Looking up, I asked myself the question, am I ready for the meeting with you, lover? Hell yeah, I'm ready. I ran up the stairs. Although I was already very close to the second floor, it seemed to only take the first step. Fear froze time and eclipsed my mind. Alright, so got through that, okay. I didn't know if it stopped with stuff I haven't read, but okay, luckily it does. Looks like we got through that, we're fine, and climbed through the stairs. The girl was lying on the bed, her hands and feet were tied, and a familiar bracelet gleamed on her thin wrist. Martin was holding a knife above her. Hearing my footsteps, the guy turned and pierced me with his gaze. He did not look like himself right now. What does he look like, then? His eyes glittered like sapphires, as if he were going to acquire something that he had always dreamed of. He licked his trembling lips. I'll do it, Ashley. You know that she's mine. You hear them? Now I know. I can hear them too. They are after you. It ends now. I lied, of course, but it will be over. I still need to deal with the couple and then destroy the entire harem of Martin. The lover was burning with desire. He was no longer a human. He became a monster. His shadow stretched out and dug his fangs into Grace. No, it's just an imagination, but the steps behind me were not. I turned around. Madness! God, I missed them. The couple was dragging along the corridor. I recognized the tattoo on the girl's neck, and of course these sewn-up mouths. It looked like they already dealt with Lloyd, and now wandered around the house in search of new victims. Martin and Grace would be ideally suited for this role, but I could not afford it. Not on my watch. Whoa! Right in front of me, as if I had become the very epic center of the events, there was a girl who once belonged to Martin Grain, and he belonged to her. Jane Grain. She had huge knives coming from her back for cutting meat. The scars that protruded on the skin in the places where glimpses between the bandages glinted scarlet. She smelled of medicine and blood. Jane was holding bandages in her hands, which were twisted with white snakes on the necks of 3 other girls. They looked like dogs on leashes. The bandages were so tight that I thought she will strangle them or break their necks. But of course it was a very stupid idea. After all, the girls were already dead. I saw only 3 girls who began to approach the couple, but felt the presence of at least 10 or even more. Having examined the commander girl more attentively, I saw that there were still bandages stretching from her hands. 5 on each arm. They waved in the air with white waves. I heard a soft tapping. These are gold, silver, and plastic bracelets that knock on each other. For a second, my mind seemed to be in a different dimension. I saw girls in a strange dance. One of them held the hand of the other, and she grabbed a stub where a hand used to be. The other clung to the protruding bone. The third touched the wall with a finger and wrote, "Martin Grain, do you love me?" And then her hand slipped and wrapped around the guy's neck. But she could not kill Martin. Not until Jane commanded her to. The couple was, at first, confused and scattered, shaking their heads. The girl tore off the bandages and leaped forward, exposing their sharp teeth. They were digging with their fangs into the bodies of Nadine and Thomas, trying to tear them apart, but they could not kill them without destroying the binding object's tattoos. I could not allow this. Nadine, who sat on her shoulders, was not able to balance herself and collapsed from the steps, rolling towards the second floor. The glass bracelet broke from the strong blow, and the girl with the cry disappeared. Sally, one of the lover's victims, spit out her tongue and cut it through the neck of the girl with the tattoo, but thank God she didn't touch the pattern. Nadine managed to dodge and ran downstairs. If Sally, who has now slipped in the grave in the Ironstone Grove Cemetery, saw such a picture, she would certainly vomit. If she saw what became of her, she would share her breakfast with the crows who visit the grave every day, that's for sure. It took one of the knives pulling out of Jane's back and rushed to Martin, bewildered by what was happening, to hit him in the temple to neutralize the bastard. Jane Grain turned to me. Her eyes were covered in bandages, but I knew that her look was definitely unkind. All the pain belongs to her and the girls. I can't kill Martin, but since the blow was not so painful, it seems that she forgave me for this. Thanks. I rushed out of the room and ran downstairs to the first floor, following Nadine, Thomas, and the several girls from the horde of Jane. Did we get Grace? Running down the steps, I saw Sally stand upright. Honestly, I thought that she would remain crawling on all fours. The girl put her hands in her mouth, staring bandages on her face and pulling them out, piercing the blades that went under her fingernails. She got closer to Nadine and wanted to slash her neck again, but I got just in time between them and blocked the attack with the knife. Yes, let's say that the years of training made me a skilled fighter. However, I'm just a human. Sally touched my hand with her claws. Ooh. Somehow overcoming the pain, I took Nadine by the throat and cut it through the middle of the tattoo, sharply pressed in the temple. The girl's head tore off and fell on the floor, and the body crumbled to dust. The seams on Thomas's lips parted, and he yelled. Worms fell from the open mouth, and Sally was already coming for a new strike. This time she attacked me. I thought she was my ally, though temporarily. But at the very moment, it became clear that she wanted to kill me as well. Having beaten the blow with the knife, I swung at Sally, and she backed away. Turning sharply, I grabbed Thomas by the hand, and he pushed me away and snatched the knife from my weak fingers. Without thinking twice, the guy stabbed the blade in my stomach. Then he jumped to Sally and cut over her beaded bracelet. God damn, I almost died! I closed my eyes, anticipating my death, but no, I can't die like this. My life does not belong to me. In front of me laid the forceps, and I knew what I had to do with them. One of my teeth ached. No, I will not do it. I don't want to. Go to hell! You lost so much blood. Just let me help. Damn, Thomas seemed to think that I was dead and headed upstairs to finish Martin and Grace. Hella did not notice. She seemed to be still sitting in the next room, not giving any sign of life. I wonder if she's conscious at all. I frowned, took the forceps and put them in my mouth. Experiencing the infernal pain, I grabbed one of the teeth in my metal grip and pulled. Ooh! But I would not have had the strength to pull out a tooth, so she helped me. The forceps flew out of the hands and the blood spilled to the floor with a thick trickle. I took her rotten dead tooth, which was now wider than all of mine, and inserted it into a place of the torn one. I immediately grabbed my flesh and gained strength, and most importantly, the wound was drawn out. I did not think that I'd have to go that far. 6 teeth already. This number scared me. The dentist is at your service. That is the achievement. Nice. This number scared me, but thank God a person has 32 teeth. I caught up with Thomas. He tried to shed Jane, waving a knife near the doorway of the children's room. I again borrowed a knife from the girl and grabbed the guy by the hand, cut off the skin with his tattoo. The knife was very sharp, easily passed through the flesh, leaving a bloody exposed bone to his arm. When his body fell, I wanted him to stand up and close the terrible picture. Ooh. In the middle of the nursery sat Martin. His hands were lying on the floor and his legs were also separated from the body. There was a crunching and gnashing of bones, while vile sounds of chewing flesh. Girls led by Jane surrounded Martin and devoured him. The worst thing is that he was still alive. He yelled and begged to be rescued. I already saw it. The spirits of anger, in fact, are terrible. They can make a person live after death for a few more seconds. The black magic of that world is really scary. Try not to look at this horror. One of the girls raised her bandaged head to me. Martin's brush was clamped in her teeth. She, like an inquisitive kitten, tuned her head and then turned to her meal. I pulled Grace out of the room, trembling in fear. Horror stiffened in her eyes, and a cry crept to her lips. It seemed that if she opened her mouth, she would certainly skin them. Somewhere beside me, the door opened, and she went into the hall, lit by thousands of candles of hunger. Her thin hands clutched at the beating heart, the teeth dug into the red flesh, tearing into the organs. She eagerly began to bite out the heart in large pieces. The flesh stretched and tore, blood dripped onto the floor, red patches fell around. I soon removed the terrible images of her feast from my mind. Everything's fine. We need to go. Fine. Really? But the girl didn't say anything. We came downstairs to Ella. At that moment, she had collected her things and was going to leave. We needed to be prepared for the next creature. She'll come soon. We must be prepared. Prepared for what? For the eternal afterlife? Do you really think we'll win? She won't let us. The girl wanted to strangle me. Looks like she cared about the fate of her little brother much less than her own. She went mad, just like Lloyd, and rushed to me. Stop it! Enough! I'll kill you, bitch! I'll kill you, shitty slut! She grabbed my throat and began to strangle me. I swung with my knife and managed to get out, but soon Grace took the knife away and raised it to kill me. I took a step back and the knife stabbed the wall. Grace, what are you doing? It's her. She did this. She's killing us. The ritual, all this, it's her work. But if she wanted to kill us, she would have done that already. I don't know. Maybe she's waiting for something. I just don't know. Grace's face suddenly changed. She looked at me. I guess Grace understood that she just couldn't ever become a real threat for me. Not for Ashley Knight. The girl who had just moved to a new school and has lots of enemies already. It was not even a human being who was standing in front of her, but the devil itself. All the remorse, like taking away lives is a sin, killing people is bad, was in my head. I was fighting it. I cut the memories with a huge knife, tortured them, or even tore them apart, but never got rid of them. I knew that what I was doing was wrong. I knew that I was a monster as bad as Pennywise, the dancing clown from Stephen King's It. I knew myself as such, and I didn't accept it. I had no choice. Anyway, Grace saw genuine evil in front of her. She saw the girl who was laughing at her prey. The girl that got satisfied from stabbing flesh and tearing it apart. And I lied if I said that killing wasn't funny, but it's just a way to make it less scary, terrifying, and immoral. I'm just playing a killer imitating her, even though the guilt is all mine. Grace started moving back, swinging with a knife. Don't you dare come near me, asshole! Don't you dare! Her eyes were full of fear, not madness. Her will wasn't broken. She didn't have enough strength to beat me, but she couldn't give up so easily. The girl turned around and ran upstairs. I didn't follow her. No need for that. Moreover, Jane, with her army, just started coming to me and Ella. A little goth girl noticed my axe stuck in the wood floor and pulled it out. She nodded understandingly. And I wouldn't want to kill her, but I would have to, as she had made her choice when she crossed the line as all of them. Actually, I could help her to deal with the monsters, but Jane is mine. I pushed my hand in the pocket and took out the tooth. Thankfully, I had several of them. Take it. This brings luck. Yeah, some luck is what I really need right now. I was watching in fear as something like the mummy of the Lerner Hydra started walking down the stairs, one by one, filling the room with the odor of blood. Seems like the walls started running where these horrible creatures watched them. The bandages were rustling and rubbing against their mutilated and broken bodies. Their black eyes were bottomless, black abysses. Now the whole squad with Jane ahead was already. They rushed to us from all directions. I heard the sound of their teeth blades scratching. Ella was screaming in fear, but was swinging with her axe so fast the pieces of flesh were flying off. Sometimes she even managed to destroy the bracelets. Ella practiced dancing, so her movements weren't chaotic at all. Indeed, I saw the rhythm and grace. Anyway, it's good enough to kill those assholes. Like a hysterical ballerina, she was going around, blood was splashing on her, hugging her with a red dress. Her axe went up and down, slaying the monster girls. But they were just coming, and we were too exhausted to continue the fight. I was crazily swinging with my knife and even kept the monsters away from Ella. Unfortunately, I couldn't fight forever. I hated my weapon, which wasn't able to kill those bastards properly. One of the ghost girls managed to grab me by the throat and holding the useless knife in my hand, I looked in horror at the shiny bracelet on her wrist. Thankfully, Ella was right on time to cut the freaking hand off. The monster screamed and fell on the floor. Her friends jumped at us and I grabbed a random target. Jackpot. This time the bracelet was a chain and I could easily destroy the monster when it was torn apart. It could be much easier, but I had already used the tooth. It could give me powers only once, and I usually use it to stay alive after a serious injury. It's no use! We need to figure something out! Jane with her squad were downstairs already, so Grace peeked up from the upper floor. She was seeking an opportunity to run away. It was at the best moment, so she returned to her safe place. Run, bitch! Run! Ella's voice was cold and cruel, not as usual. I continued to swing with my knife. We were in the ritual rooms, but we were drained and had to retreat to the hall. Jane was really close. Her hand was trying to reach me, but I tried to hit her. Someone always covered her. So I had to attack from a distance. Shit, where's that revolver when I need it? Jane was strong. What if she was like some kind of boss in the goddamn game? If we would kill all her followers, she would die. Looks like staying alive until that moment was almost impossible. Strong jaws bit my hand and skinned it. God, how painful. I felt dizzy and fell near Martin's bag. There was a spare lighter and a can of spray deodorant held within. Oh, how convenient! Looks like before going to Grace's birthday party, he went to a gym. The killer has to be fit, right? I didn't care about it too much, but like a child of the 21st century, I saw a flamethrower, but it was too late. I can't divert their attention to myself. Are you sure it'll work? She pointed at the flamethrower with her axe and then quickly cut off the hand of the monster girl. I shouted and stepped back, swinging with the stump. I got up, looked at the flamethrower, and pressed the button. The fire stream filled the space in front of me, but even if it was weak, I started walking forward anyway. Ella had slain 2 girls who were defending Jane, and when the new squad of guards started reinforcing, the flame of fire touched the bracelet. It turned black and began smoking. That's strange. I saw that some girls were wearing golden bracelets. They were the hardest to kill. Silver and bronze ones were for Ella. Her axe could break them, but very rarely. Martin knitted the bracelet for his lovely sister, Jane himself. I wonder what expression she wore on her face when her brother gave her that, and what he felt when he understood that it was a payday. A knitted bracelet turned into a flame circle like the one with which tigers jump through in a circus. In a moment, the girl started turning into ash. Her teeth and eyes were falling from her mouth, sticking to the floor, creating a wicked smile. The bandages disappeared and I saw her slashed face. Blood was flowing out from her eye holes, and the girl fell to her knees, hiding her face in her hands. But her hands began rotting and immediately fell off. Her face was so ugly that I turned away. Her jaw had plopped on the floor and the body turned to ashes. Looks like we did it! She smiled at me. I do know what you're up to, and I promise to help you in exchange for my life. I can't promise it for sure, but you can take a risk. I'll do whatever you ask. I can torture. I can kill. She hurt you so much. I understand what you feel, Ashley. Grace must suffer after what she's done to you at school. After all the bullying and jokes. Wait, she was bullying me and we went to her birthday party? You understand me? Hugh? An asshole that traded your friend for your pathetic soul? You understand? My eyes flashed with coldness. follow me. But it'll be helpful for me. Ella's on my side. Anyway, I decided to keep my distance from her. Who knows, maybe she wanted to cut off my head. We started climbing up the stairs when suddenly a ball fell to our feet and then disappeared. I heard a clockwork key creaking. Toys! Geez, a baby again? Assholes like killing babies? I looked at Ella. She looked focused and was holding the axe ready, so focused that I thought she'd kill me in a second. Ashley? The spirits that like talking the most. The spirits of greed. I looked closely at Ella's face. Did you kill a baby bitch? Who are you? I want her to swim with me. So I must help you. Not really, but if you don't help me, we'll be swimming together. There's much space there. Plenty of it, Ashley. I'm not going to hell. Not today, but they have reserved a room for me. You're funny. Can we be friends? Probably. Can you share things, Ashley? I can. She couldn't. Ever. Of course. You mean Ella? No response. Seems like she doesn't like talking too much. Nah. I saw Grace. She was holding a knife in her hands. The girl ran straight to me, but when she noticed Ella with an axe, she realized who was a real prey. Grace ominously flashed her eyes at us and rushed to the bathroom, locking the door behind her. I could have let Ella kill her, so I wanted to grab Ella's hand, but I didn't have a chance. She came to the bathroom's door and prepared her axe. Little Goth hit the door and the axe was broken to pieces. What the hell? That wasn't the deal? I guiltily looked at her. Of course there was no guilt. Ella wanted to run away, but I wouldn't let her. The mist surrounded her. She couldn't run anywhere but to the bathroom where Grace was hiding. I heard the waters meandering, a quiet sobbing of a girl in the bathroom. Ella started feverishly knocking at the door. I don't want to die! Because of you, Grace, you bitch! Get out of here! I will kill you! Kill you, asshole! The girl began scratching the door with her nails, and when she ripped one of her fingers, she screamed. The blood pool appeared under the door. Ella looked at the blood in fear, and her mind went mad. It seemed like she saw something in her bloody reflection. Don't look at me like this! I told you not to touch Mr. Bubbles! She rushed at me and fell on her knees. I warned her so many times, Ashley. Believe me, I'm not guilty! She stopped looking at me. Ella stared down again at the gates to hell were on the floor. She heard the half-open door of the unknown beyond. Missia Alvert was calling her sister to play. Leave me alone! I don't want to play with you, little shit! I must burn your corpse, little bitch! Ella jumped quickly and pushed me away, running down the stairs. Crimson blood rushed after her, and on the last step, a cold hand grabbed her ankle. Ella fell on the ground, but managed to get up. Missy grabbed her hands and pulled down, making her fall on her knees. No! Let go of me! Let go! Now you're on my stage, and what to do with you? I'll decide myself. I heard a loud, painful scream. Do you know what she did when she drowned me, Ashley? I shook my head. I didn't know. She took my bricks from the box and stole my toys. She didn't leave me anything except Mr. Bubbles. I drowned with him in my hands. I'm sorry. She deserves this, right? Deserves to feel pain? I don't know which answer is the correct one. So let's just click that. Decide for yourself. It's your sister, so it's up to you to decide. Missy sharply pulled Ella's hand, and the girl fell on her head. She began seeking in her own blood, and I heard sobbing. Ella stopped breathing. Now I'm alone again. But you'll play with me, right? I felt sorry for Missy. She seemed to be nice when she was alive. So becoming a vengeful spirit didn't make her lose humanity. Of course. Really? Yes. Obviously I was lying. Let me hug you. Let me hug you. Missy happily ran to me and hugged me tightly. I felt her strength. I guessed in a second the girl was going to break all my bones and take me with her. She'd lead me to the lawn with lots of toys with the sun shining brightly. But Mr. Bubbles blocked the sunlight. The lawn became dark. Snow came in flakes, the filling of Mr. Bubbles. I'm sorry. Really. She looked exactly like her. Before my sister became that monster, she was as nice as Missy. But now she's a devil to which I sold my soul. I didn't come to the bathroom, but faked death lying on the floor instead. It wasn't hard to do, since the blood was everywhere. Is anyone alive? Nobody answered her. The bathroom's door slowly opened, and I heard Grace's footsteps. She stopped nearby. She was looking at both my and Ella's bodies. Got that bitch. She rushed down the stairs. The floor wasn't sealed, so Grace came up to it. I got up and ran to Grace. The girl jumped back in fear. I didn't want that shit. I didn't kill her. She did it herself. I just asked her to create a group. I didn't want us to be friends. I understand, I trust you, but this is over. Anna McRoyd appeared behind me. Her arms were cut by the strings. She was trying to reach Grace. The girl screamed and rushed outside. I ran after her, and Anna disappeared. Obviously, she'd find Grace first. Now, after seeing Missy, I realized who my sister really was, and I believed less and less that she turned into the abomination that was eating souls. I killed lots of children's spirits, but this one was special. She was almost innocent as it ever could be when you're a spirit of revenge, and vengeance is your main reason to exist. I went out into the cold night's forest with a flashlight. Grace's footsteps were hard to see and easy to lose. I was soon exhausted because so many things had happened, and I hadn't even had a proper meal. Not like my little sister who had already eaten lots of stuff. Speak of the devil! But no, she didn't say anything. She kept silent. Seems like she didn't like talking after food. Got an achievement called Penguin-san. When I stopped to catch my breath, my flashlight caught a sight of something. A bag was hanging in a tree. Ah, there we go. That's Penguin-san. I swear it was my sister's bag. A penguin with a button clasp. She liked this bag so much. It was our mom's present for her birthday, and after that, my parents and my sister died in a fateful accident. Oh, okay. So the spirit's our sister, okay. I try not to remember about it, and I feel really bad that she had become such a creature. But I'm glad that she lets me see my parents at least. I remember how often we played hide and seek in the yard. Most often, I was seeking her, but not that day. The day when the wind was rising was swinging the curtains of the mental hospital. She was the one who was searching, somewhere in the graveyard. She was standing on her grave, under the dry soil, was standing, facing the wall and counting. Then she found me and offered a deal. Do you want to see them, Ashley? I can show them to you. The wind suddenly became stronger and colder. It whispered to me, Ashley? And then once more, as if I didn't hear it for the first time, but the voice changed. It was louder. Ashley? It was a girlish voice, but not hers. That means it's a ghost. Anna, what do you need? Have you already slaughtered Grace? No, Ashley, it's me. My name used to be Lizzie. I froze. It's impossible. My sister now has a different voice. It's rough and hoarse. She is different. Is that you, bitch? Are you freaking kidding me? Jeez, what kind of words are these, sister? You need to wash your mouth. I knew her voice. That was Lizzie without a doubt. My little Lizzie. Your voice has changed. It's never changed. The Faceless took my voice and my name. Now I do not have a name, Ashley. She took everything. I couldn't say a word. I wanted to scream in pain, to blame everyone in this shitty world. All those murders that I have done were for nothing? What if my parents were fake? What if they were just delusions? I never thought that she's not my sister. I wanted to see my mom and dad too much, and this bitch used it to manipulate me. It was all for nothing. I was a murderer. I wanted to commit suicide, to pick up this heavy rock and smash my skull to pieces. Wait, we need to stop her. You're wrong. Nothing can be compared to your sufferings, but finally I found you, and we can set our mom and dad free and the rest of them. You mean the souls of the one who were killed by the sinners? The victims? I mean everybody. The sinners are victims too. It's been all planned from the beginning. They killed innocent people to become her food. She made them kill. The Faceless exist beyond this world's time and rules. But how can we destroy her? We can't kill her, but we can't save everyone. I can't stay here for long. Open the bag and take the linking object. I started crying, so I was rubbing my eyes until they became swollen. I opened the bag with wet fingers and took out a ring with a big diamond. Obviously, it wasn't real. I gave it as a birthday present to my sister that doomed day. Then, parents said her went downtown to buy everything for her birthday feast, but I stayed at home because of the fever. So great, sister. Now you'll be with me for wherever I go. Lizzie told me happily while getting into the car. See, got an achievement called Family Ties. Alright. Finish what we've started, and we'll have the chance to make things right. I ran through the forest and soon came to a tree line. I saw a stage nearby. The moon was lighting it up like a projector. Grace and Anna were standing there. Both of them were holding microphones. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to present you our favorite singer. Looks like Grace couldn't run or say anything. She was coughing and spitting blood. I guess she doesn't have anything to say, but don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. For a moment, I thought someone was watching them for real. Anna stared straight into my eyes. All of you are here to listen to the beautiful Grace Hutling's voice, but unfortunately, she has a sore throat, so she's not ready to sing now. Anna pretended that it was bad news, but immediately became happy. No, you can't refund money for tickets. If you can't hear the voice of Grace Hutling, I'll show it to you. And I'll play solo on this wonderful guitar that Grace gifted me. Do you remember, honey? You were selling this wonderful thing in a sale because you couldn't play. But you could sing, and then I played it in all your concerts. It was a great deal. A cold smile appeared on Anna's face. But I'm afraid the contract period is over, since a long time ago. Anna tightened a loop around Grace's neck and pulled. The string tore her soft throat and Anna put her hand into this bloody massacre. The girl was holding Grace's vocal cords that were shining in the moonlight like a disco ball. I ran to the stage, but Anna gave me the guitar herself. It was my best performance. Let's see. Turn off that damn music! That's one way of saying it, I guess. I took the fingerboard more comfortably and smashed the guitar against the stage. It broke apart and the torn strings played their last chord. For a moment, I felt myself like a famous rock musician. Maybe Anna herself would do the same after one of her concerts. Actually, instead of the applause, I heard the blood splash and chewing. The creature was already consuming the Grace's brain. I knew that, in fact, she was eating the soul of my sister, the pure soul. What a proud girl. So delicious, how... The monster began coughing with blood. What have you given me, nasty girl? This can't be. You're a sinner too! I heard her squealing, and then she showed up on the stage under the moonlight. She was turning inside out. The blood was pouring. She was shaking and screaming in pain. Eventually, she fell on the grass and started crying. A pure soul. A pure soul! Bitch, where did you get that? You betrayed me. I was hoping to eat all of your sadness! Injured Lizzie came out of the monster. She felt pain, but I could not do anything to help her. Nothing. I knew that she was a ghost, but those sufferings were like hell. Now our parents are free, and you are free too. I just couldn't let her go. Just couldn't. I was watching her writhing in pain, and then a bright flash. A false diamond exploded, and one of the shards stabbed my eyes. I closed it with my hand, and the warm blood was spilling through my fingers. I felt sick and fainted. I opened my eyes. My eye. The other one hurt. The hole where it used to be hurt. Looks like it was gone now. I was looking down at the small pool of blood, which was all that left my eye. When I opened the penguin bag, I found Lizzie's handkerchief. Good. I could use it to cover the wound. After bandaging myself, I looked around. I found myself in the same forest. Thanks, sister. You're welcome. It just hurts so much. So much, but we'll bear this. I couldn't believe that I heard her. Lots of stuff happened to me, but it all seemed like a dream. My eye hole aches. I know how to deal with the faceless. What? What are you talking about? We have to go to the school and fast. What school? Ours? The new one. But it's not that easy to enter. That's why we need to hurry. I feel like I'm going crazy. That means you'll feel at home. Easy play. Alright. So here we are with the epilogue, apparently. The policeman came to the crime scene. The whole house was covered in blood. Gregory Deerfield was transferred to this department not so long ago, but loads of people had died already. There was a murder in the asylum, in the factory, and in the old abandoned amusement park. He slowly approached the house and, having opened the door, took out his gun. Gregory saw the corpse of a young girl on the floor. Her hands were spread like wings, as if she was flying to get something, to get her head that was lying far away. So far from her freaking body, Gregory pretended to have never come to this house. He was still outside, or better, he was driving on a highway far away from this place. He swallowed, fighting the phone with sweaty fingers. He made a call, glancing at the damn star. He would just tell about what he had seen. Just call Inspector Morose and go away as if he had never came here. Somewhere in the chief's office, the phone would ring. He would just answer several questions. Fine, Gregory, he muttered. I think you should take a look at the head. We just need to tell the parents about her death. Street. We're humans, after all. Gregory made a step forward. Shit, right in front of the stairs another girl's corpse was lying. She was curled up. All her body was wet with blood and her eyes were frozen in fear. All the corpses were fresh. Gregory had goosebumps. The girl was almost smiling at him. Actually, he really didn't want to do that, but his curiosity led him to the second doomed floor. There was a young man in the center room. Legs and arms were missing, as if a beast tore them off. No, Gregory didn't see it. A half-eaten arm in the corner of the room. He did not see anything, did not enter the house. He just called to tell about the accident. Inspector Morose speaking. Jeez, I'm so glad he picked up the phone. I do not even know what to say. The corpses are everywhere. Maybe it's even more violent than the murder at the school. It's absolutely insane. I see. Calm down. Did you see the star? Who cares about that freaking star? There are torn limbs everywhere. It is hell. So you saw it? Yes, the star and the candles, as you told me. One more place. This is the third such incident already. Looks like it's getting caught soon. Do you think it's somehow connected to Phantasm Inspector? Phantasm? Don't know. It's probably some kind of experiment. Jeez, what on earth is happening in this world? I think you should ask the devil. So that's what she really is. Real Lizzie. Lizzie Knight. A girl who loves penguins and sugar candies. Together you saved your parents and perhaps the whole world from a terrible creature that feeds on souls. Do you hear fanfare and applause? You deserve it. Aw, nice. Alright. Silence the house. That certainly was interesting. A lot longer than I thought. Everybody said the game was extremely short, like an hour long. Clearly this has exceeded an hour long. But, it was okay. I liked the idea and concept. It just could have been written better. Like, a lot of it could have been written better. In my personal opinion, anyway. The drawings were actually okay. They're not terrible, but... could have been better, but not terrible. So they were okay. Not much to say about it, honestly. Wilson. Nice last name. Yeah, but that beginning was just a little unbearable. Like, it took forever for the ball to get rolling. And it just felt like I was kind of just reading crap that we just would relearn anyway, so it just took forever to get the ball rolling. And of course, everybody was like a sex addict. Like, what the hell? That just seemed extremely weird. Overall, not too bad. I did like the idea of the whole everybody kind of was a murderer, so they went to the house to be considered as a sinister and get punished for their sins. So that wasn't too bad. I kind of like that idea. But there's one route we didn't go through, and I kind of want to check that out before we end. Okay. Of course she deserves to die and feel pain. Oh, got achievement. Having fun with Mr. Bubbles. Missy tore Ella's arms with such force that I heard the sound of breaking bones. Both arms plopped on the bloody river, and hands with fingers spread in pain sank straight to the bottom. Bleeding Ella fell and choked with her own scream. "What have you done to me? What have you—" Ella cried for some time, but soon bled to death. She cut Ella's hands from the blood and brought them to her lips. Dead fingers seemed to creep into her mouth themselves. Her sharp teeth milled the bones as she swallowed them like delicious sweets. Missy was staying near her sister's corpse for a long time. I used the opportunity, rushed to her, and took the toy away. I tore it apart and the girl started crying. She fell in the blood pool and disappeared. Let's see, is this all different now? Oh! We saw Grace die. Shit, I wanna check that out, hold on. We gotta read that. We gotta read it, viewer, because I'm curious. Load. Of course. Okay, let me kind of speed through this. Even the fingers. Came to the bathroom's door. Grace! It's time to come out! It's time to die! But nobody answered. Grace? Grace! Damn! I began knocking the door with the knife with such force that I almost broke the blade. Take it easily, Ashley. The door became transparent and I saw Grace laying on the floor. What the hell happened? It was like her body got caught in threads. Every inch of her skin was cut. These were guitar strings. I recognized them at once. Ah, okay. Her body looked as if somebody wanted to play tic-tac-toe but didn't dare to start the game. Shit. I saw her putting claw hands in Grace's head, raising the scalp and taking the brain out. She clenched it with her slippery fingers like a beefsteak. With pride, I could say it's finger-licking delicious. A bit arrogant and pretentious, but good enough to eat. I quickly went downstairs and took the axe that was lying near Kate's corpse. Something glittered in front of me. It was a thread. Anna. Grace's victim was standing in front of me, but I didn't care about her death. I wanted to finish all of this as soon as possible. The girl caught my hand in a noose and pulled. I lost several fingers and screamed in pain. She ran at me again, but I managed to win the thread around my knife and pulling her towards me, I cut out her cries. Then I took the guitar hanging around behind her neck and broke it apart with full force. The girl cried and exploded into pieces in pain. The blood painted all the walls red. Exhausted, I sat on the floor. Satisfied? Of course, my dear sister, of course. My mom and dad appeared before me. They were calling me. I just needed to step on the ladder of life. I was climbing higher and higher. The stool creaked. The noose started tightening. No longer than 3 minutes, otherwise it'll be the end. I know. My parents were smiling at me as usual. Healthy American family! What the fuck is up with that? Okay, whatever. My parents were smiling at me as usual, the same smiles as if I was watching the same movie over and over again. My sister was standing by my side, and for the moment we were like a real family. But I saw that my parents weren't smiling. I didn't pay much attention to it before, but it was bothering me this time. These 3 minutes of death seemed like a week to me. I could stand with them for eternity and feel myself alive. But the wonderful dream was coming to an end, and in several seconds I found myself in a nightmarish reality. The door closed and I was left alone. Alone in a trap. Do you want to perform the ritual again? Okay, here's the epilogue. It's crime scene, covered in blood. Let's see. Was this the exact same? See one bird at school. It's up. See, come down. Do you see the star? Yes. Here's a freaking star. Do you? Yes. I think it's some. How could I don't know. It's probably some kind of experiment. I think you should ask the devil. And we've got. She missed a dead man. You completed the ritual and saw your parents. Excellent. But is this the whole point? Is everything so simple? Maybe we should see another ending. See you later. Alright, fair enough. Alright. That was interesting. It was just an okay game. I felt it was okay. It's polishing, and it could have been better, but it wasn't absolutely terrible. I mean, we want to die or anything. But we don't need to watch the credits again. So, in the meantime, I am Tara the Fox, you are the viewer, and I hope to see you next time.